Well, welcome to the Fragrance Nut. Hey, I'm back at you with another review, and this time we're going to look at the house of Yves Saint Laurent, and I would say from the Privé line, and this is none other than the Muse, M-U-S-E. And I have did in the past Tuxedo. I plan on checking out some others, but let's get into this one. In the top of this, you're gonna find some lavender, and you find some incense, and then clary sage. Now at the top, you do get that incense. I do get that lavender, but right off the bat, I would bet that this is probably frankincense, uh, or it could be olibanum. And then in the mid, I got the notes here because I really want to be specific. This is really nice. It's very unique. Then there's that Oris, and that was the reason for me pulling the trigger for this 10 mil size, was because I was interested in smelling the iris up against something else that's in the base, which is definitely very unique. And it has some bourbon vanilla. You do get that. And there's some ambret, and of course that's the synthetic version of musk. And here you find it in the mid. Typically it's in the base. And then in the base, here's where it gets really interesting. And there's an ink note. Now, who would have thought to put ink? But as a kid, did you ever smell like the ink that come from the big pen? Have you ever used a quill pen, like the one that you dip and you smell the ink and it had? This does have that, and it's definitely a brilliant idea that I would say very, very different. I like it. Not quite a love. I don't know if I would go full bottle, but this here, as opposed to when I wear tuxedo, I mean, compliments through the roof. If you're looking for compliments, definitely tuxedo. I think the one that I pulled the trigger for was, you could just say intense, because it was a little bit stronger than, I guess, the original version. And this to me is a musky fragrance, not musty, musky is the difference. And then to me, it's a calming moment when I would wear this. This is not what, in my opinion, a compliment getter. Maybe a conversation piece for sure. Very unique. There's a uniqueness about this fragrance. The nose behind this is Marie Salamane. And there are a couple of other reviews that I did by her. I wasn't aware that she did these. Was Dries Van Noten, and it was So Malaquais. And the other that I did review was Nove Vanilla by Altair Diors. She also did Black Opium in the 2014 version. So I could imagine, when I think of this, I could see the Black Opium being a part of this family, for sure. Very nice. That ink really kicks for quite a while. This here, to me, is a good solid 8 to 10 hours on skin. I always suggest, though, fresh out of the shower, never on dry skin. Always use an oil to hold on to the fragrance. So if you're thinking, hey, my fragrance didn't last, there are two reasons. Dry skin, hey, it doesn't smell the same as when I tried it in the store. You were smelling the top notes. You didn't let it get into the dry down. That's where the beauty of the fragrance, that's where the nose behind the fragrance is where they're taking you. So spray it in the store, walk around for a couple of hours so that it can get into that dry down. And that's exactly what you're gonna want if you want the fragrance, and not be mesmerized by the top notes, because that just burns off within, say, 20 minutes maybe. even less than that. Anyway, have you tried this? I got this from scentrush.com. Nothing more I could really say about this other than it's really nice. Drop a comment. Tell me if you did smell this. I suggest you do if you want something sometimes just calming and very unique and very different. You're not looking for a compliment, but you do want to just maybe take a change in something, giving your palate, or nah, you don't want to taste it, but you know what I'm saying. If you just want to experience something sometimes unusual or something different and not just down the typical, then I highly suggest get your nose on the Muse. Anyway, under 6 minutes. Like, share, subscribe. See you in another video. Bye.